Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football uh, uh, Texans Cowboys postgame show. Well, the Houston Texans beat the Dallas Cowboys 19-16 at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, in overtime tonight. The Texans go to 2-3, and the Cowboys fall to 2-3. So both teams are now 2-3. The Cowboys jumped out to the early 6-0 lead. That was actually a field goal was kicked, and they got the early 3-0 lead, and then they kicked another. And then Houston was not able, so they got intercepted again, and Dallas kicked another field goal, and it was 6-0 in the first. But with TD, but the Texans would score a touchdown in the second, and it was 7-6 Texans lead. Then the Texans kicked a field goal, and it was a 10-6 Texans lead at the half, and the Cowboys tried to set for the half, but were not able to get anything done. Cowboys scored a TD in the third, and it was a 13-10 Dallas lead. Then the Texans kicked yet another field goal, and the game was tied at 13 as they got into field goal range again at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth, the Texans got into field goal range and kicked yet another field goal again, and it was 16-13 Texans. And then, but late in the fourth, the Cowboys tried to score a touchdown, but then they got in the field goal range, and it was 16 also. To overtime we go. The Cowboys got to the 20, but the next pass from Dak Prescott was intercepted by Bernard McKinney. Actually, it was Bernard McKinney. And the first one was that was intercepted was by DeAndre Phillips. So it was and it was and it was back in second quarter. This one was by Bernard McKinney, and the Texans got into field goal range, and their Texans kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn or whatever kicked a game-winning field goal, and the Texans win 19-16. The Texans get back-to-back wins for the first time this season, and I do believe for the first time in I think 2-3 years. Check me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure, but I mean the last time I think they had back-to-back wins was I think a few years ago. But this is the first time this season I think that they have gotten back-to-back wins. And Deshaun Watson, 33 of 44 carries and attempts, 375 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Dak Prescott, Cowboys quarterback, 18 of 19 carries and attempts, 208 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. And DeAndre Martin had 3 carries and took the ball 151 yards, and he just one that gets a game ball. And Texans quarterback, the other game ball goes to the Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. So I have to give the game ball to both those guys, to both of them. So those are the 2 game balls I give out for this game tonight. I thought by far those were the 2 that got them. We're gonna go back over all all of today's action, beginning with the Cleveland Browns beat the Baltimore Ravens in overtime by a final of 12-9. Greg Joseph kicked the game-winning field goal to win it in overtime. And the Browns got their first win on a Sunday since 2015, and a big win in the AFC North Division. And this was just a big win and a big uplift for the Browns and the Browns fans. The Denver Broncos, and they will go up against the LA Chargers next week in Week 6. The New York Jets beat the Denver Broncos 34-16 at MetLife Stadium in New York. The Jets go to 2-3, and the Broncos fall to 2-3. The Detroit Lions beat the Green Bay Packers 31-23 at Ford Field in Detroit. Green Bay just they battled back, but it just was not enough. They just could not pull out the win. But they did pretty well, but they did battle back. So the Carolina Panthers beat the New York Giants with time as time expired. They kicked the field goal, and it was good as time expired. And they beat the New York Giants 33-31. The Giants had it, and then Carolina kicked that field goal, and the Giants just blew it, and it just came up short for the Giants again. Another one, they let another one get away. The Buffalo Bills kicked the field goal in the final seconds of the fourth quarter and beat the Tennessee Titans 13-12. And Tennessee just had the lead, and they let one get away as well today. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Atlanta Falcons at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh 41-17. And now, so that means that the Browns and the Steelers are tied with the same record, 2-1. And after being down 17-0 in the second quarter at half, the Cincinnati Bengals came back and beat the Miami Dolphins 27-17 at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And whoa, that was what a comeback Cincy made in that one today. Well, we only have 2 unbeaten teams left in the NFL at this point. And the Kansas City Chiefs are one of them that stayed in the ranks of the 2 unbeaten teams. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 30-14 at Arrowhead Stadium in KC in Kansas City. And that's all your early games, your early 1 o'clock games. Now to your late games, your 4 o'clock games. The LA Chargers who the Browns will face next Sunday at 1 in Week 6. Beat the Oakland Raiders 26-10. And boy, what a game at StubHub Center in LA. And the Chargers just were all over the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders just could not get it together after beating the Browns last week in Oakland in overtime. And the big upset of the day in Philly, the Minnesota Vikings got a little sweet revenge as they beat the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champs, defending Super Bowl champs, I should say, 23-21 at Lincoln Financial Stadium in Philadelphia. And boy, that is a major upset, and I have to really give credit to where credit is due to Minnesota's quarterback, and I think it's Leon Jones to give quarterback to, their wide receiver. I have to give them credit. So to give their QB credit. I can't remember his name, but I know I gotta give Minnesota credit. And the LA Rams, who are the other unbeaten team in the NFL. And they also are in the ranks of the unbeaten. And they beat the Seattle Seahawks on the road in Seattle 33-31. And they go to 5-0 as well. So the LA Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs are the only 2 unbeaten teams left in the NFL at this point, and we shall see if they shall remain unbeaten. We'll see how long it lasts. And the Arizona Cardinals upset the San Francisco 49ers at Levi Stadium in San Francisco 28-18. Arizona gave San Francisco a lot of trouble today. They really were gunning for them today. So we'll see what San Francisco can do next week in Week 6. Well, and you already know that the Houston Texans beat the Dallas Cowboys 19-16 in overtime. So, and there's only now 1 game left in Week 5 of the NFL, and that is tomorrow night's Monday night game. The Washington Redskins will take on the New Orleans Saints at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in New Orleans. And we could have some NFL history made. Saints quarterback Drew Brees will try to break John Higgins' record for the most yards rushing. We shall see if he does it. We will find out tomorrow night. So stay tuned for that. And I will have a Monday Night Football pregame and postgame show tomorrow before and after the game. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's basically, it's been what a week of football in week 5. And my brother-in-law and I are tied a lot with Minnesota beating Philly. My brother-in-law and I are both 9-4 in our picks, and we have the same two teams for tonight's game and tomorrow night's game. So we are going to end up in a third tie this season. So we don't win, but we don't lose. So I just take it as a tie. And tomorrow, not only will I be doing the Monday Night Football pregame and postgame show at night, but the Tribe and the Astros will square off in Game 3 of the ALDS tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. It's the first pitch. And before that, I will have the Tribe Astros ALDS pregame show, and I will have the postgame show once the game has concluded. So stay tuned for that, and it's a must-win for the Tribe these next 3 games. So beginning with Game 3 tomorrow, and Mike Clevenger is on the mound for the good guys. Well, that is going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports Sunday Night Football post-game show and Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday Week 5. But I'll be back for Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 5 tomorrow. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.